1 second. Super, super exciting. So, as I was saying, I did indeed send the email to the recruiter. So what I told her was that I was checking my email and I haven't received that form that she was talking about, and just wanted to make sure that your team didn't have any issues sending it, and that's why I haven't received it, like an error and whatever. And I just want to make sure that me not filling the form out was slowing down the process on their end. And then I also brought up the acronym of the community college I went to, just to make sure I wasn't clear. I went to this college and not this other one, so just so your team knows to not contact the other one. So then she emails me back. So it was like 45 minutes later. Said, "Hi Kate, thanks for reaching out. We were able to verify your education and coding certificate. Next step for us are to collect a reference from your leader. Will you please notify your leader of your interest in the position and email me once she has been informed? The supervisor of the registry is interested in considering for the clinic data registrar position that is at my hospital, which is the trauma registrar position." Woo! So, very exciting. So I said, oh, perfect. I had actually emailed my supervisor right after we had our phone interview. But I'll email her again with these new developments and I'll let her know. So I'm now going to do that. So, this is so exciting! So, I'm not sure when I'm actually going to get the reference letter, but I assume it's going to be once I email her back saying, I let my supervisor know. Woo! This is awesome! Yeah! Woo! Good morning, everyone. So it is Tuesday. It's been a couple days since the last clip. And since then, I was waiting for my supervisor to receive the reference email and send it out. I didn't hear anything the rest of the day, Thursday or Friday, from the recruiter or my supervisor. And then on Monday, went into work, and it was about 7:30 when my supervisor came in, and she responded to my initial email saying, "Thank you for the update," meaning you're going to get the reference email from the supervisor about this position. "I'm happy for you and hope that it all works out." So then I emailed her saying, "No problem. They haven't contacted you yet? I'm so impatient." And she responded saying, "They just sent me an internal reference form to fill out, so you should be hearing from them soon." So that was confirmation that my supervisor completed that form and sent it to the recruiter. So now the ball's in the recruiter's court, where she does whatever with that reference email. And I'm not entirely sure if I get an offer right away, or if there's still a little bit of conversation that's going to happen between the recruiter and my supervisor before I get an offer. I don't really know. And I met with one of my coworkers who used to be in medical records and moved to a medical assisting position at our hospital. We met for lunch and I told her, this is where we're at, this is what happened. And she said, once that reference letter is sent out, things go very quick. So I was hoping to at least hear something from the recruiter before I left work. At least her saying, got the form, this is what's happening next, or actually getting an offer, but did not receive anything yet. And I'm hoping today then, if things move quick, I'm hoping today I'll at least hear something as far as next steps. I really hope I get an offer. And I'm 99% sure I will be getting an offer, because I'm very confident my supervisor would give me positive reviews on my work and performance, etc. And since the registrar supervisor is considering me for the position, and then my current supervisor said, yep, she's a great candidate, then the logical conclusion would be I would get the position. I hope. I'm pretty confident. I just like to leave like a 1% of doubt in there just in case, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to get the position, and I'm very, very excited, and I just want to know I want this to go quick so we can have some conclusion soon. So I will see you in the next clip when I find out next steps, etc. Okay, so things have taken a turn, which is not good. And we're on shaky ground right now. Let me pull up my email and we'll discuss. So yesterday was Monday, January 22nd, which would mean a week had gone by since I had last heard from the recruiter about what was going on and when my supervisor sent that reference email. So since it had been a week, I was a little nervous, so I decided to send the recruiter an email asking for an update, essentially. But what I ended up saying was, hope she had a wonderful weekend and enjoyed the snow. We had a snowstorm over the weekend. And then I just wanted to confirm you received the reference form from my supervisor, which she sent last week, Monday. So that email would then get her to confirm that yes, she got the reference email, and then also open up to what's going on. Later that day, she emailed me with the bad news, or the not so good news, saying, thanks for following up and reaching out. As planning to connect with you this week, we did receive the reference back from your leader and everything looked good. So that was the only positive of this email. The clinical registry supervisor did want to complete an additional interview with a candidate before making a decision. And then the recruiter will be contacting the clinical registry supervisor in the next week or so to find out how that went. And when I know more from her on how she would like to proceed, I will be sure to fill you in. So my fears came true that another candidate slipped in. And now I have no idea if I'm still considered the top candidate. And if I am not the top candidate, that means I won't be getting the trauma registrar position. And I have no idea if the cancer registry position, which is 45 minutes away-ish, I don't know if that position is still on the table or not. So I have no idea if this other candidate gets the trauma registry position, if I won't get the cancer registry position because they filled that already. I have no idea. So I'm at this point where I really have no idea where I stand because I'm no longer the top candidate because there's another candidate figuring out where she sits in the ranking, and that's not good. So I sat with that email for about an hour or two deciding what I should do next because I knew I had to at least respond to the recruiter to let her know that I got the email, I understand. But I didn't want to just leave it at that. I wanted to make my last statement for why I believe I am the best fit for this position. I wanted them to know, you should pick me because of these reasons, but not come off as desperate and pleading. I wanted to be graceful and succinct and just say, all right, I just want to let you know, these are the reasons why I'm a good candidate, and I hope you make a good decision. And I hope there's a positive outcome for me. So I ended up emailing this saying, thank you for the update. I hope the clinical registry supervisor will give me a chance since I'm very interested in this position and I'm very motivated to learn as much as I can. I'm confident in the skills I have accumulated from medical coding and medical records, which have created a strong foundation for working in a clinical registry. I am also a quick learner and I will put all of my effort into strengthening new skills to ensure success if the clinical registry supervisor decides to move forward with me. I hope all of this was evident in my interview and from my supervisor's reference letter. I'm available for any follow-up conversations if the clinical registry supervisor requires it to make her decision. Thank you for your help and your guidance through this process so far. So I thought that was enough of a response to let her know these are the general reasons why I think I'm a good candidate. I want the supervisor to know these things if she is unsure. And that I am more than happy to come in and have another conversation with her actually giving specific evidence to support why I'm the better candidate. So I have no idea if they will actually want me to come in, but I thought it was a good thing to at least say I'm open and available, because I really want them to know I'm not just gonna sit back and let this position pass me by. I want them to know that I do want this job and I'm motivated and I do want to give it my all, so I'm gonna fight for it. And I think that shows confidence, courage, integrity, and even a desire for this job. And I think those are all good qualities. And I think if I were to not respond to the recruiter, that may have come off as she doesn't really care about this job. She's just applying because she wants to, but she doesn't really care if she gets it or not. I want them to know that I do care about this job and I really do want this job. So hopefully that helps. I hope. So I won't be probably hearing anything until next week. So another week of not knowing what's going on. It's so frustrating. So I don't know what I'm going to do if I don't get this position. Because I truly don't want to be in medical records forever. It's just a position that there's not much you can do with it. Because the only step up from health information clerk is a manager, supervisor, leadership role, and those just aren't available, and they usually aren't available because there's only a few of them per facility, and the people that are in them don't leave. They have no reason to. So it's not like these positions are always opening up and there's places for me to go within medical records that are going up. There aren't. So you are basically doing the entry-level stuff forever. And I just don't want that. It's been a great experience and I've learned a lot and I've built up a lot of skills. But I feel like I've done as much as I can in this position, and it's time to move on, and to move on to something that's a step up and that's more challenging and that can use all of my skills that I have, because right now I'm not using them all. I'm not using any of my coding skills at all. And there's other skills from college that I have that I don't use just because they aren't applicable to medical records, but they can be applicable to clinical registries, but I can't use them right now. So hopefully I end up victorious in the end, so then I can use all of my skills and grow as a professional and be in a job that I am challenged by and enjoy doing. So once I find out, because I'm pretty sure the next step will actually be getting an offer, and that will be in a week, is when I will find out, did I get it or not? We'll see what happens. Okay, so it's been about a day or so, and I kept thinking that I didn't know if the email that I sent to the recruiter was enough, because I wasn't sure if the recruiter would relay that message to the clinical registry supervisor, and I didn't think I gave enough detail and enough evidence to support why I think I'm the better candidate. So today I took some time to write an email that I'm going to send directly to the supervisor. I hope that that's okay. I don't know. And I did state in there that I couldn't just sit back and let this opportunity pass me by. I had to do something to show that I do want this job, and I didn't think just saying a few things to the recruiter was enough. I had to do something. And I tried to keep the email fairly short, but when I'm trying to cover a lot of things that is really good evidence, it ended up being pretty long, but hopefully she will take the time to at least read it. And I decided to make the leap and bring up the YouTube videos. In the interviews, I didn't bring them up only because I didn't know if the videos that I covered on CPT, etc. would be a detriment, because I clearly do not understand CPT. And even though I said that in the videos, I just didn't know how that would look. And even though Trauma Registry does not touch CPT codes, I didn't know what the consequences would be just bringing up, I make YouTube videos. At least this time, in this email, I could give specific links, so then she could at least look at the specific links that show the specific evidence of my skill level with PCS, and to alleviate some worry she may have on that front. So I discussed the PCS coding, dissecting an op report, and that sort of stuff. And then I also discussed my experience in medical records and the things that I do in medical records and how that is helpful for Trauma Registry or just in registries in general, and my productivity and how I learn, and that I'm a quick learner, and that in 1 year of working in medical records I've gained all of these skills and I've mastered all of these processes, etc. And then I talked about just in general that with the skills and the points that I have made, I think they show why I'm a good fit for this position, and my work ethic and professionalism and how that makes me a good candidate as well. So I went into that. And then I also made one small point that I think that I'm the type of person she is looking for, and that I want to be a part of a department that directly or indirectly affects the improvement and innovation of healthcare and medical treatment. I do like that aspect of Trauma Registry and also Cancer Registry. I like that that is their mission, and that is what they do. They compile all that data and they curate that data to help with the research and improvement of the medical treatments that they deal with, either cancer or trauma. And hopefully that is enough, because I woke up worrying that what does it mean that this other candidate is getting another interview? Because I assume she did one initial interview with the supervisor and then she was invited to come back for a second conversation or interview. I assume that is what's happening. But what does that mean that the supervisor wants to have a second conversation? Is that to dig a little bit deeper in this candidate's experience to just confirm that yes, she's the better candidate and yes, that's who the supervisor's going with? Or is it she's going back to dig a little bit deeper and make sure that she is not the candidate she wants to go with? I don't know what it means. And I feel like the candidate coming back for a second interview means the supervisor is just dotting all her I's, crossing all her T's to make sure that she, this other candidate, is the one she does want to choose. Because I wasn't invited back for a second interview for another discussion. And yeah, I've already had an interview with a supervisor back over the summer, but I feel like I need to explain more that we didn't get to in the interview to show that I'm a better candidate. And I have no idea the experience of this other candidate. Is she in the same boat as me where she hasn't been in a trauma registry, but she is a coder? Well, if she's a coder, does she even have PCS experience? Is she just outpatient? But since she is a coder, that's why? I don't know. And I just feel like I would do so well in this position and that it's where I'm meant to be, or just at least in registries in general. Like, that is where I belong. And it's just getting in there to confirm that that's where I belong and that's where my skills and my personality and the way I think it fits with that type of work. I don't know. So I think this email will help, I hope, or at least she'll want to bring me in to have another conversation to go more in depth on this. And at the very end of the email, I did say, if you'd like to have another one-on-one conversation, I'd be more than happy to do that. So I just don't want to lose this position because I didn't go into enough detail on my skill level and my work experience. I feel like in the previous conversations it's been somewhat vague only because I didn't want to take the chance of just offering up information she wasn't asking for, or I don't know. And I don't know when the next time a registry position is going to come around. And if the cancer registry position is already filled and then the supervisor goes with this other candidate for the trauma registry, I don't know when I'll have another chance. And then is it going to be the same thing where I apply, I'm the top candidate, but then someone else comes along and she ends up going with this other person. And it's going to continually be rejection. Like, I'm never going to be qualified or have enough experience. But at least with the supervisor, she is welcoming, so she will respond to my emails if I ask her for guidance and help. If she ends up not choosing me, I feel comfortable knowing if I email her saying, what should I do to improve my chances the next time around? What should you suggest I do to get into trauma registry because I want to work with you in your department? And she will be more than happy to give me guidance. So hopefully this email is enough to get me in, but at least I know she's a good resource if I don't get this position. I just think I'm a good candidate regardless of what my experience is, because I try so hard to succeed and to learn as much as I can about something that I'm interested in, and trauma registry and registries in general are something I am very interested in, so I'm motivated to work my butt off. And I didn't want to put in there that I will work off the clock for no pay so that I can get up to speed. I didn't want to put that in there. Because then she'd say, by law, I can't let you do that. So I didn't even want to go there. But I would take a lot of time outside of the job to learn and to work on all of this if she does give me a chance. But I want her to know that, yeah, I am that outgoing and I'm a go-getter, so I'm going to do it. And I won't disappoint you. So hopefully this helps. So next time I see you, I will hopefully know a little bit more. I hope. I got the job. I got the job! Good morning, everyone. So from the previous clip, hopefully you heard me, I said I got the job. So I did indeed get the job for the trauma registry position. So I found out Friday. They called me at about 4:30 p.m. on Friday, and my phone said no caller ID, and I knew that was the recruiter because that's what happened when she called me for that follow-up interview. So I ran upstairs to take the phone call, completely forgot to turn my camera on, but she told me that I did get the position, which was very, 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 very exciting, and I tried not to yell and scream my excitement. So then she briefly gave an overview of the position again, hours, blah, 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 all that stuff. And I told her that, yes, I am accepting the position. So congratulations and all that. And then she said she'd be sending a confirmation letter in the mail, email, which would give the overview again of the position. And then she also said that the clinical registry supervisor would be getting in contact with me as far as first day, logistics, all that stuff. But I decided to email her on my own. So once I pull up my email, I will go through and read it because some of it was pretty exciting. So I told her that I just got the phone call from the recruiter and I accepted. I can't wait to start. Talk to you soon. She said, "Welcome to our department. We are so glad you were able to accept. Sorry it took so long, but we had to do our due diligence. How does 9 a.m. on February 18th sound for orientation for our department and onboarding?" And then we can determine a schedule after that. So February 18th, which is a Monday, I will be starting there, my very first day. And then within that email, she also said, "I love your compelling motivational email from the other day." So that email that I sent her describing and giving evidence for why I thought I was the best candidate for this position, she actually really liked it. So I'm very, very, very excited because after the fact, I'm like, oh, was I overstepping? Was that not the right decision? I don't know. But thankfully, she really liked it. And then I thanked her for saying that, and then I confirmed the 18th. But other than that, I got the job. I got the job in the trauma registry, and I will be working towards being officially a trauma registrar. How exciting is that? That is so exciting, but I'm very excited, and I can't wait to start and to learn. This is going to be awesome. So since I did get the job, my plan is to document my first days, either bringing you along in the car, discussing what happened, or doing a sit down of discussing what was the first day like, what is the first week like, what am I doing, what am I learning. But in the future, I do plan to take the information that I learn on the job and making videos about it, because there really isn't that much information out there on trauma registry. It's more the generic, what do trauma registrars do? And then you don't really have anything else about the nuts and bolts of the position, and I'd like to at least have some of that out there, because if there are people and students that are either in coding, going into coding, they decide coding isn't for them, or they want to learn more about trauma registry because they brought it up in classes but not as much, they want to know what it's really like on the job, what do you do, etc., and they can't find any other resources, I'd like to at least be here to at least say, this is what I do on the job, this is what I'm learning, these are the tools that I use, and this is how I do it. I'd like to have that information out there so anyone can have access to it and to learn more about it and what it's really like. It's awesome. And I can't wait to share with all of you what it's like and what I'm doing and how it's going. So if you have not done so already, subscribe to this channel so you can get notifications on all the videos that I post so you're always in the know. Comment below if you have any questions, and I will hopefully be able to answer them at some point in the future, depending on what the topic is. And then also like this video if you were not liking the cliffhanger, but eventually liked the ending of the video. I'm sorry I made you guys all wait a couple days, and I don't care because I was on a cliffhanger for a very long time. So y'all get to experience that too. But yay, very exciting. And we now know the answer and the conclusion to this story. So hit that like button if you enjoyed it. And I will see y'all later. Bye!